Hey, you guys, happy Wednesday. I wanted to share this story with you earlier, but at work, it was so much going on that I really didn't have a chance to. So I read several articles this morning. So this is pretty much based on what's going on in my head. So if I left out something that you think I should know that pertains to either of these two individuals I'm talking about, please leave it for me down below in the comment area. Her name is Amanda Stevenson. She was 20 years old and she just turned 20 that Friday prior to this devastation. This story is out of Victoria, Texas. I did look on her Facebook page like I always do, and there was a post that was dated, it was dated November 19th, I believe. It was dated the day that she would go missing. She was having complications with the vehicle and she had to utilize a rideshare, which she did. I don't know if it was Lyft or Uber, but she utilized a rideshare, and the driver's name is Kevin Binningson, 45 years old. A married man. I didn't look and see if he had any children, but he does have a property that seems to be very popular that they call Binningson Organic. So he was the driver that came to pick up Amanda. Amanda then goes missing. They can't find her. Her family and friends, they cannot find her at all. They used drones and search dogs to try to locate Amanda. They could not find her. They actually interviewed Binningson. And I guess whatever happened in that interview, they released him. But he was definitely a suspect in the disappearance of Amanda. Then her body was discovered on November 21st, I'm believing her body was discovered. And it was discovered at a place called Parrot Park. I think it's Parrot Park, but it is in Texas, and it was found in that area. And she was unfortunately deceased. The authorities would find Binningson at a traffic stop. And he was definitely the man in the orange Jeep Wrangler. He would unlive himself on site. Right there, he would unlive himself. And I was looking in the comments, and people that I guess know Binningson, there's an article on Facebook, and the article just says how there's a deep sorrow and the community is mourning for this man that unlived himself in that moment. But does the community know what he's linked to? What he is a suspect involving? And in the comments, of course, people like to argue and fight in the comments. And they say, oh, he's innocent until proven guilty. Well, Mr. Binningson, he proven his own self guilty. Because if I didn't do anything and I go into a police station and I give an interview and they release me and I'm driving and they pull me over and they're like, hey, Charlie, we need to talk to you one more time, to clear up some more things. I'm not going to take out my peace and unlive myself. That doesn't make sense. I'm going to go back to the station and pretty much answer the questions because I am innocent. So this is what he did. This is what this so-called innocent man did. And unfortunately, the people that love and care for Amanda Stevenson, they don't know why he did this. But by now, we have to understand that we will never know why people do the things that they do. Unfortunately, the people that we care about is around them when they decide to do this, which is tragic because she seemed to be an innocent young girl doing what people do. And she just wanted to jump into a ride share and go wherever she was going. And that's scary too. That it's very, very scary to get into a ride share. And for people that have never followed me, I literally go to Texas to get to Atlanta. You'll understand what I mean in a minute. When I was, in my 20s, my mom used to always tell me, get in the yellow cab. I was living in New York. Get in the yellow cab. Do not get in any gypsy cabs at all. So if I had the money for a yellow cab, I would take one. But normally I would take the train, or I'd walk, or I'd have to go. Always get in the yellow cab. That's what she'd say. The gypsy cabs were people, mainly foreigners, and please don't come at me for saying it, because that's what they were in New York. They were foreigners, and they just wanted a little extra money. Sometimes they were, in the country legally, and they wanted some extra money, and they would use their personal vehicle to get money. They probably still do it. And she would always tell me, do not get in any gypsy cabs. But true story, I had my baby. My baby was a New Year's baby. And about 3 or 4 weeks later, I was at the Port Authority, and that's in Manhattan. And I needed to go to the Bronx. And the yellow cabs would stop. They saw me holding something in my hand, bundled up, because it was freezing. My baby was born in January. It was freezing. And they would say, where are you going? And I'd say, the Bronx. And they would pull off. They would pull off. I mean, snow, slush, just pull off. They weren't trying to take me to the Bronx. I mean, I got there. I remember I got off the bus around 11. It was going on 2 in the freaking morning. And I'm holding my baby. It's freezing. And this gypsy cab kept coming by. And I said, where you going? The Bronx. And he pulled off too. And he must have passed me 3, 4 times. Finally, he pulls up to me. He says, what do you have in your hands? I said, I have my baby. He's like, you have a baby? And this man gets out the car and he looks at me holding my kid. He's like, where are you going? And I said, I live in the Bronx. I'm going to the Bronx. He said, where? I told him where. South Bronx. I told him where. And I guess he felt really, really bad for me at this point. And I remember he said, give me the money now. I will take you. And he did. He took me. He wasn't happy about it, but he took me. And I was very happy that he took me, because I didn't know how the hell I was going to get, back down there. And I had my bundle of joy with me. So I just didn't know. But, that was the only time that I got into a ride share. And it was crazy because he was more scared of me with my baby probably and going where I was going than I was supposed to be scared of him. But, that was a gypsy cab back in the day. So now we have these gypsy cabs. Seriously, that's what they're called. Bad things happen in Uber and Lyft, and we know this. And I know sometimes people just need the extra money. People just trying to, get their hustle on, and they're doing legit things. Yeah, sometimes it's legit too, but it is scary to get into a stranger's car and you don't know this person. And we've heard the horror stories about a lot of bad things that have happened, in Ubers and in Lyfts. So, and this is another one that adds on to the story. So yes, women, girls, even guys, because guys are getting hurt in a different way. They're getting robbed in some of these Ubers and taken places. I've read the stories. Just be careful. I know you got to get to where you have to get, but definitely just be careful. This story, I don't say too much of exactly what happened. I don't think, we'll ever find out really what happens. But again, to the family and friends of Amanda Stevenson, my condolences. Rest in peace, Amanda. And the only thing I could possibly say is they talk about this property that he has out there. I don't know, maybe her parents, her mother, maybe they should file for a wrongful death suit against the Bennington estate. Maybe they should. I know it doesn't bring Amanda back, but this is a really fucked up story. I'm sorry. It's really fucked up. All right, you guys. Have a happy Wednesday.